Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here, and today what I'm going to do is take a quick look back at the week. I am going to pick the highlights in my opinion. I will give you my opinion on them rather than just reading through all of the news, all of the events. I'm going to pick the ones that stand out to me, give you my opinion on it, because I presume anyone watching this is interested in getting opinions and perspective on what's actually going on, because if you just wanted to hear the news, you could go out and just read it yourself. So after these disclaimers, I will jump right into it. Okay, so looking at the market cap, we'll start here, as good a place as any, just to take a quick look. We won't dwell too long on it. The market cap has fallen below 140 billion. It did go down to about 134, was it? Let's just check. It had fell within one day. It had gone down, yeah, to 136 billion. Up slightly. We did go above 140 today and then back down again. So we'll see where it goes in the next few days. This is a very low level. We do need to see this rising up, but there's a lot of fear in the market. Again, we'll jump into some of the reasons for that. No point you going through the coins to see what's up, what's down, really, because the majority, as you can see, are down, apart from Viros. Not a project I'm really familiar with. Up 117%. See how flat it was, and then such a spike. Volume isn't bad, actually, so I don't know what's behind it, but hopefully some of you guys had it. The losses, again, its losses are the predominant thing at the minute. So we will just skip on past that into things that are affecting these prices. So looking at the Bitcoin hash rate, this is something that is a popular topic at the minute. I've done a video on this towards the end of last week as well, talking about are Bitcoin miners stopping? And this week we have seen stories coming out about Bitcoin miners stopping mining, and that has created fear, panic in the markets as well. It's not as bad as the news articles and all the FUD are making out. Thought I was going to seize there. Like, a lot of this to me is, it's set up, it's not giving the full picture, and it is scaring some of these smaller retail investors out of the market. The market, everybody who's in the cryptocurrency space and market, that is changing at the minute. And these kind of fear stories are part of the reason that that is happening. And the smaller investors are being scared out of the market and they're just giving up on it. But again, that's a rant for another video. Maybe in the next few days I will do a rant on that, about how I see the space is changing and the people within the space are changing as well. For the long-term growth of the market, yes, it is a good thing, but it is not good for the people who leave now and who will miss the gains when the next bull run comes. Back to the hash rate. So you can see from the peak here where we got up to 61 million terahash. That was the peak of the hash rate. So at that stage, that was back in September when the price was a bit better than it is now. But as the hash rate goes up, that means there's more people actually mining Bitcoin, mining transactions. So there's more people competing for the set rewards. So the rewards are the same all the time and they generally come every 10 minutes. So there's more people competing for that. So you get less for your electricity, for your hash rate, you get less rewards. As miners start to drop off, so the price of Bitcoin's going down, yes, so if everyone stayed at it, at this level here, then it is not going to be profitable for nearly anyone. But as some miners start to drop off, and you can see we have dropped off a lot here, did come down to 34 million and it's back up to 40 million now. But as people drop off, then the difficulty gets slightly less. So there's less miners competing for the same reward. So it becomes more profitable for the people who remain in it. I've seen interviews as well where some of the Bitcoin Cash guys, where Craig Wright was talking about where he's jumping over to Bitcoin and he's mining Bitcoin to get returns, and then he's gone off and trying to sell it to put more electricity into mining his Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin Cash is not profitable at the minute to mine. So some of them guys are jumping into Bitcoin, mining Bitcoin. So you will see lots of fluctuations here up and down, because as other miners get out, it becomes more profitable. So them guys will jump in, try and get a bit, and then jump back out again. That's how the mining is going at the minute. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. If we stay around these levels, we will see more of a drop off in the hash rate, but it is never going to stop the... Bitcoin isn't going to come to a standstill really, because there are so many people all over the world mining it, and yes, it is becoming less profitable, but as other people fall off from mining, it gets more profitable for the people who stick at it. So the network is safe. For the people worried that it's all going to come to a standstill and that's why they're jumping out, that's not going to happen. Not every miner is going to give up, because it does get more profitable for the people who stick at it. So that was the market capitalization. We won't get into that again. We'll look at the price of Bitcoin in a few minutes. That doesn't really matter. Tom Lee has changed his prediction yet again. He started off low. He went up to 25,000. Came back down to, I think, 20. He's down to 15,000 now by the year end. He's probably going to change his prediction again in another week. So again, you can't really read too much into them. On-chain FX got a nice redesign, so I might start using this instead of CoinMarketCap for these videos. The aspect that I like here a lot is the 24-hour change against the USD and against Bitcoin. So you have them side by side. So it's interesting to see there. And again, when you're digging into more of the facts, it is a bit scary when you look over this side. So maybe avoid it until we get into a better market. But it definitely is one that gives you a lot more information there that is easily acceptable. We did get an ETF this week. It was a Swiss, a Swiss stock exchange. And they have put in a mix of cryptocurrencies. They have Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. And half of it is in Bitcoin, which is to be expected. It is the #1 cryptocurrency and the most widely known. 25% then is in Ripple, or is in XRP. So there's people giving out that they call it Ripple, not XRP, and we're not getting into that here. So it is interesting to see how much has been assigned to XRP as well. It has done very well in the downtrend of everything else. Ripple has, or XRP, has stuck fairly solid in the 40 cent to 50 cent range. So then next is Ethereum with 16%, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin have 5.2 and 3%. All the shit that's going on with Bitcoin Cash, I don't think it should be in there at all. Litecoin, the use case, is it as good as it used to be with the improvements in other cryptocurrencies? I don't know. That isn't me putting Litecoin down really. I do still hold Litecoin myself, but maybe the use case for it is not as good as it used to be, unless there is more changes coming out in the near future. Then the SEC. The SEC is cracking down on ICOs. So we kind of knew this was coming for the last few months. There's been lots of talk about it. Lots of ICOs have disappeared, have scammed, have caused all sorts of shit out there in the marketplace. So the SEC, what they've done in the last week was they cracked down on 2 ICOs. Now, when you look into these, they were Paragon and AirToken. Both of them were domiciled in the US. So for any other ICOs that were based in the US, it's not really good news for them. The SEC though have, what they are demanding that these 2 companies do is they refund everyone in the USD value of the investment, which is basically going to be impossible for ICOs. For ICOs that raised, I know one of them raised in October, so potentially they may be okay, but again, probably not. But for ICOs that raise anytime from November to February, March, they are in serious trouble, because they raised when Bitcoin and Ethereum, where Bitcoin was up at between 15 to 19,000, Ethereum was up over $1,000. So what they have left in terms of what they've raised is going to cause a lot of issues. So the SEC gave both companies a fine of $250,000, as well as saying that they had to refund everyone. So this is going to put, if the ICOs, the legit ICOs that have proper companies and everything like that, it will put a lot of them into liquidation. So there's going to be a lot more coming out on this in the next few weeks, I would say, and months even, as they're kind of encouraging companies to come forward, come to the SEC and talk and see what the actual resolution is. Look, some of these companies could take this to the courts and try and argue against the SEC, because the SEC is just enforcing rules. They are not actually making the rules. So there may be opportunities there for companies to take it further, but again, it is a tough route against the SEC. For companies that are domiciled outside the US and who did not allow US investors into the ICOs, it is still up in the air to see how they will be affected. One that is on, it's a big topic of conversation today, is the NEO-based currency called Aphelion, who had set up a DEX for NEO-based coins, and they came out yesterday and they decided that they are shutting down their DEX and pulling back completely due to lack of funds, they said, and the SEC. The SEC hasn't approached them, but they are fearing that the SEC is coming after what happened with EtherDelta, where the owner of EtherDelta got a fine for allowing trading of unregistered securities, basically ERC20 tokens, on the DEX for EtherDelta. So Aphelion has basically shut down. Their coin dropped by 80 to 90% within a few hours of this happening. So there's a lot of angry investors out there, but they're not walking away completely. They are looking to stick around and see what they can do to acquire the proper licenses. So again, it's one I need to look further into to see, is it worth taking a chance on it or just saying it's gone. It's not one that I've previously owned or own any tokens at the minute, but that's where they are. They have thrown some shade on NEO as well, highlighting again the problems that NEO have. So again, another video, not one for a summary like this. Now, let's sum this up on looking at the Bitcoin chart. So this is the daily chart. You can see the levels that we just dropped through. Actually, Bakkt, didn't even mention that. That comes into the price here though. So up here, around, I think it was around here, the Bakkt came out and announced that they're delaying until January. So there is huge questions over these drops here. So we were initially putting it back on Craig Wright and on Bitcoin Cash Split and the hash wars and all this, but there is now a lot of questions asking who knew that Bakkt was going to delay. Is this big drop off here part of insider trading where the guys at Bakkt and their friends at Wall Street, whatever, they all knew that it was going to be delayed by a month, and it's even still pending approval for CFTC approval for January, so it's not guaranteed for January. They come out and they said due to all the workload and everything that has to be done, they have to delay it. But who knew that that announcement was coming? Will there be investigations here to check that out, to see this huge drop here was part of this due to the big guys knew that Bakkt was going to be delayed, which was going to have a negative impact, because when the news actually came out, we didn't see the crazy dumps that we would have expected with a delay like that. The market was kind of like, oh yeah, it dropped a few $100, it came back up, and the last 2 or 3 days it's kind of been up and down them $200. If we go more into the hourly view, we'll see it. It's kind of just up and down and getting notifications. Bitcoin up 2%, Bitcoin down 2%. Notifications every few hours at the minute. So if you were trading this, then there are lots of good opportunities because there is volatility there, but it's dangerous volatility because it is all on the sell volume. So if you're trading, yes, there's good opportunities, but just be very careful with what you put on these, on your trades here, because this market could have a tendency to drop even further. And if we go below the 4,000 level, this was a very minor support that I pulled from way back. So I would say it's more on the 4,000 as a psychological. If it goes below that, then you are looking to go well down then. Let's see. Again, technical analysis in these kind of markets is just a bit crazy. But anyway, 3,500 would be your next support that I personally see. Other people will see different. But going below 4, I would say we will go very close to 3.5. So let's hope we don't go there. Let's hope we are going up. But it is definitely going to be a bit of a slog to get up. I think if we can get up towards the 7, 8, 9,000, then if we can really make a push then, get over 10, you will start to see the FOMO kicking in then and let Bitcoin really start to grow again. But I would say that time frame is getting pushed out further and further all the time. I do still think it is definitely coming, not financial advice. I'm personally holding for this, few trades in between, but the majority I'm just holding, letting it sit there because I don't want to lose. And next year, Q1, Q2, who knows? There's no point putting a prediction on it anymore. We see Tom Lee changing all the time. We see everyone changing their predictions all the time. So predictions at the minute aren't really worth much at all. So hopefully you got some value, guys. If you did, give the video a share, give it a like as well, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Have a good weekend. The topics I mentioned I will do more talk on, like about the people that are in cryptocurrency, how that's changing, and maybe talking about NEO and the FUD that's out there, the SEC and ICOs, and where that's all going. Again, I'll do individual rants on them next week. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to leave a comment as well. Let me know your thoughts.